"24 hours to date with destiny." The All Progressives Congress to answer critical questions on internal cohesion, internal democracy, and deep-rooted democratic ethos. The People's Democratic Party to decide which zone gets what if it gets the mandate to return to the center. And still on political update today, opposition parties recalibrate to ensure better showing at the general election. We have this and more on the show. I am Fisai Ogunfuyi. Welcome. With the APC National Convention literally upon us, the founding fathers of the party were hosted on Thursday to a dinner at the presidential villa. The get-together was organized by President Muhammadu Buhari. The president used the occasion to show his appreciation to critical stakeholders for their continued support, understanding and cooperation with his administration, as well as keeping faith with the goals and ideals of the governing party for national salvation. The engagement is in furtherance of genuine efforts by the Nigerian leader in ensuring a rancor-free and successful national convention of the party. In attendance were first-time interim chairman of the party, Chief B.C. Akonde, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Dr. Bunaya Onu, Owelerucha Sokorocha, Ibrahim Shekarau, and Aliyu Magatakada Wamako. Others are Governor Nasiru El-Rufai, Rotimi Amechi, Chairman Caretaker and Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee, Maimala Buni, and Secretary of the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. In the course of the week, President Buhari held a strategic meeting with progressive governors towards achieving a successful exercise.
The crucial meeting centered on what the ABC governors have been doing in preparation for the forthcoming March 26th National Convention of the governing party. Apart from the chairman of the forum and Kebbi State Governor Atiku Bagudu, other governors representing the various geopolitical zones of the country took turns to brief the president on efforts at generating consensus in respect of all the National Working Committee and zonal party positions. The governors say they are not only united, but committed to supporting any process that will lead to the emergence of new party leadership to hit the ground running without the need for election.
The governors are united. The governors are unanimous in support of Mr. President. The governors are unanimous in the support of the Caretaker Committee. We thank the Caretaker Committee for what they have been doing. Naturally, there will be hiccups one day, but we have overcome them. And by God's grace, we will have a very, very successful and peaceful National Convention.
At the meeting held behind closed doors, President Muhammadu Buhari appreciated the governors for keeping faith with a noble and patriotic cause for national salvation by the governing APC. He stressed the need for the new leadership of the party to be chosen unanimously and rancor-free, inconsistent with the party's constitution and spirit of democracy.
Mr. President appreciated the briefing and stated his gratitude for the work the governors have been doing in support of the party and preparation for the National Convention.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari, who granted audience to the governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, agreed in principle to visit Abakaliki next month for the inauguration of several legacy projects executed by the state government.
And I'm sure you'll be part of that visit to see what God has done with us in this 6 years plus. I love Mr. President, and I will carry out whatever instructions he gives to the letter, because he's a man that is very fair, and he's a man that has the interests of this country at heart.
Governor Dave Umahi used the opportunity to appreciate President Buhari for his leadership, describing him as a godsend to Nigeria.
Still from the villa, President Muhammadu Buhari has urged leaders and members of the All Progressives Congress to channel their energies towards improving the fortunes of the governing party and strengthening its position of dominance in Nigeria's political space. This was when he granted audience to APC leadership in the National Assembly, led by Senate President Ahmed Lawan.
This meeting with the APC leadership in the National Assembly is in furtherance of President Muhammadu Buhari's strategic engagement with critical stakeholders towards achieving a peaceful, rancor-free and successful March 26 National Convention, reminding his guests of the proximity of the election dates set by INEC. The president made a strong case for positions to be harmonized with a bigger picture of retaining power and sustaining the delivery of good governance.
As you all know, we cannot afford to do anything that will jeopardize the chances of the party in the 2023 general elections. We have an obligation to conduct the upcoming convention in a manner that not only fortifies the unity of our party, but also improves the prospects of our electoral fortunes. We have an important role to play in ensuring that this happens.
Already, a zoning template was produced and adopted by the party towards ensuring that the new leadership of the APC is reflective of the nation's diversity in unity, as well as a representative of the nation's dynamic interest. The president stressed the need for the template to be adhered to as a matter of necessity.
The time available to us is limited, and I therefore enjoin you to collaborate with the various stakeholders within and outside your respective states and zones to agree to work together and harmoniously in electing into the allotted positions appropriately as stipulated in the provided template. This will not only produce a smooth process and limit friction, but will enhance the image of the party positively and strengthen our overall position of dominance in the political space.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan and Speaker Femi Bajabiamila were full of appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for providing the desired leadership for the APC and Nigeria to not only overcome most of their challenges, but also remain united, focused, and indeed growing stronger.
This meeting with Mr. President has given us more energy. We believe that at least in our party, there is a president who will ensure that once there are disagreements, he is able to call everybody to order. We are committed to ensuring that this political party does not only have a successful convention, but a very successful, peaceful, and self-electioneering campaigns. And the general elections, by the grace of God, will see Nigerians voting once again for APC, because we have so far done so much in the areas that matter for the people of this country.
The whole idea is to encourage all stakeholders to unite, present a common front, and have a peaceful, rancor-free, successful convention.
It will be recalled that President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday met with the APC governors and national chairmanship aspirants of the party towards ensuring that delegates go into the March 26 National Convention with a united front.
The chairman of the APC National Convention Subcommittee on Media, Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State, says members will only go and affirm the next leaders of the APC will be nominated through consensus.
Governor Abdullahi Sule said the latest engagement by stakeholders of the party is in line with the tradition of APC geared towards consensus arrangements in order to promote unity, entrench progressive tendencies, and sustain APC legacies beyond 2023. Adherence to the provision in the Electoral Act, as well as rules of the Independent National Electoral Commission, he said, are guiding principles in their dealings.
And from what you can see, the signs, as I mentioned earlier, are being driven towards a consensus arrangement so that we can have a very, very peaceful convention, after which most of the political activities will begin, and which will lead into the success of this party at most of the elections that we are going to have next year by the grace of God.
The media committee gave assurances that arrangements are in top gear ahead of the forthcoming national convention that will signify unity amongst members.
All right, the D-Day is almost upon us. Joining us is public affairs analyst and columnist Jide Ojo. You are here again. Thank you for joining us on the program.
My pleasure, officer. It's a pleasure.
The ruling party has a date with destiny tomorrow, less than 24 hours to that time, and the masquerades are already in town. But from the outside looking in, what are your expectations in terms of what would, in your own estimation, constitute a successful convention?
First and foremost, I didn't see any masquerade coming here. not the one that went to OAU over the issue of VC. I didn't see any masquerade. But yeah, juggernauts, political juggernauts are all there. The D-Day is upon us, as you said. The town is filled to the brim by political heavyweights and their delegates and the party members. As I was coming here, I saw a lot of security beef up, and it shows a lot is going on in town. Campaigns are going on. See people doing road shows for their aspirants, one way or the other. But what will make a good and a successful convention for me tomorrow will be full compliance with Section 223 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And what does Section 223 says? It said political party leadership or the office of political leadership must reflect the federal character of Nigeria.
The principle. The
principle of federal character of Nigeria. So that's why when in the clip we watched a little bit earlier, they were saying that they have a template that is in line with what the Constitution of APC says and then the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because what INEC will be looking at tomorrow is not about whether there was violence or not violence. INEC will be looking at those who emerge, whether through consensus, direct or indirect primary, Section 84 of the Electoral 2022, whether they met that threshold of federal character principle that is stated in the Constitution. That's one. Two, I will also be looking out for how rancor-free it is, because, truth be told, APC does not have luxury of time. Tomorrow will be 26th of March. I think primary starts from first week in April and end first week in June. So which means that these people who will be elected tomorrow will have to hit the ground running. There is no time. So as they are planning, as they are out of the convention, they are also planning for primaries. And you know, being a ruling party, they have more on their plate than opposition. Because look at the number of people who have migrated to APC in the last 3.5 years. The governors that have come, the senators, all of them wanting to be in a pole position to realize their future political ambitions, whether they are trying to seek re-election or they are trying to get first nomination. Lots of also and also jostling will be taking place. But let's hope that it will be accident-free, it will be peaceful. The convention tomorrow will be accident-free, will be peaceful, will reflect the federal character principle, and that it will help to unite APC. Because whether we like it or not, as of today, APC is factionalized, even though they may not want to admit it. But there are different factions, different caucuses, people pushing and pulling. You know what the president has to do within a week. It's like a magic. 10 days to the convention, nothing much was happening. It was like, with this convention, will it not hold? But the president, having instructed Memala Bulin to come back and assume leadership after the initial palace coup that seems to have taken place between the camp of Governor Abubakar Bello of Niger State and the Memala Bulin. So everything on the surface seems calm, more so with the court order vacated last Friday, the one that stops them from holding this convention.
Yes. All right, let's move on very quickly because we have a second leg of this discussion, but let's take that other side of the fence that you're talking about. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has formally declared his intention to run for the presidential election come 2023 on the platform of the People's Democratic Party.
To announce my candidacy for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under the platform of the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria.
This formal declaration of intention to again seek the presidential ticket of the PDP in the forthcoming 2023 general elections by Atiku Abubakar marks the fourth time of his contesting for the highest position in the land. And he believes that victory is possible this time around.
We must stand firm, get our PVCs, come out en masse, cast our votes, and protect the vote.
Former Vice President Namadi Sambo and the Governor of Adamawa State, Amadu Fintiri, were unanimous in their convictions that Atiku Abubakar is well prepared and ready to move the country to higher heights.
Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, as the Vice President from 1999 to 2007, put the foundation of the development of his administration that led to all successes of that administration. He is the right man for the task ahead. He is a good man. That composition of great party for success.
Other speakers enjoined Nigerians to rally around the aspiration of Atiku Abubakar to secure the presidential ticket of the PDP and ultimately win the election as Nigeria's next president.
The chairman of the PDP's Governors Forum on Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, has charged his party to play less on zoning arrangement but rather concentrate on winning the 2023 presidential election.
According to Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, this meeting with former presiding officers of state assemblies and House of Representatives at his instance is like a homecoming. Having belonged to that constituency before his election as governor, one agenda featured at the meeting involved soliciting their support towards his presidential aspiration in 2023.
What I am coming with, therefore, is my pan-Nigerian content. My capacity is known to you. My competence in handling federal issues and governance is there.
Former President of the Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, in a similar engagement, has met with the PDP caucus of the House of Representatives, where he told them to consider him being one of their own as former lawmaker to realize his dream of becoming the next president of Nigeria come 2023.
And in doing that, seek your support, not only your support, more importantly, your cooperation. This 2023 election is the most important election that will be for our generation.
Dr. Bukola Saraki also visited the PDP Senate caucus with a similar message.
And finally, the National Secretariat of the PDP in Abuja stood still for Deputy Governor of Delta State, Kingsley Otuaro, who picked his nomination form and expression of interest form to contest as Governor of Delta State come 2023.
It began with a rousing welcome to the PDP National Secretariat by supporters of the Deputy Governor of Delta State, Kingsley Otuaro. PDP National Organizing Secretary Umar Bature thereafter presented the nomination and expression of interest forms to the aspirant in his aspiration to succeed his boss, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa. Kingsley Otuaro says he is set to consolidate on the achievements of the present administration in his state and very much on the same page with the state governor, whom he explained has been delivering on his promises to the people of Delta State.
This truly signals a very significant milestone in my preparedness to contest the gubernatorial election and winning same for our party. That's what it symbolizes for me, and I'm happy and thankful for the support that is overwhelming here. As part of the Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa-led government, you know I'm an integral part of it. So much of programs, policies, and reforms, of course, have been made. And my focus is to ensuring that these reforms are integrated for optimal democratic dividend for our people. So it's going to be a swell time for Deltas, and I know Deltas can't wait to having us come on board as quickly as possible.
Kingsley Otuaro enjoined Deltans to keep faith with the PDP as power truly belongs to the people.
All right, we're in for the home stretch. People from the opposition, of course, are also vying for the Helmsman seat, and of course also in the state, people already coming out in various states. But as we had it in the gospel, many are called but few are chosen. Let's quickly take this one.